Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in KITZUR, HILCHOS, SHABBOS. We're in the laws of Bishul, and we start a new chapter today in Bishul called CHAZARA, returning food that was taken off the fire back onto the fire. Isur CHAZARA, the prohibition of CHAZARA, of returning. We already wrote above, you're not allowed to put a pot on the fire on Shabbos, even if it's covered up. Not only food that did not yet finish cooking can you not put on a flame on Shabbos. When you do that, certainly you're doing bishul. Even to take a pot where you're not going to transgress the prohibition of bishul, of cooking. For example, you have a pot of food that is already cooked completely, or you have something that is a dried food product, and even if it cooled off already, or you have something that is moist but it's still hot. The reason you cannot put it back on the fire is because it looks like you are cooking for the first time, and that we cannot do. And there's another gezerah. Even a pot of food that's on the fire already, if you removed it from the fire, you're not allowed to return it to the fire. In a group of ketuma, if it's not covered. If the fire is not covered, and the reason is because it looks like you're cooking on Shabbos. There are those who say the reason is because maybe you'll come to adjust the flame. You want to heat it back up. Even to put it back onto a stovetop where it's covered and the like, we don't allow you to do such a thing. Therefore, in our towns, in our places, in our camps, so to speak, the custom is we cover our ovens. If you want to return a pot onto the fire on Shabbos, we have to make sure there's a blech, there's a hot plate that is down there. And just the way that we mentioned above, covering it, you cover the flame itself with some kind of a metal blech or the like, and you have to cover the knobs also, so you should mind yourself not to touch them. You have to do the same thing over here. Just like over there are those that are machmir, that are stringent and say it doesn't help you, so too over here, according to some opinions, it doesn't help to keep it covered. However, we'll see that there's going to be a distinction between returning a pot that you took off the stove back on, and shehiyah, and leaving something on it that's not cooked. Shekan lemani likshor habayrig v'tzrichim dafka lechasa zaish. Says the KITZUR HILCHOS over here. In the case of chazar, you don't really need to cover the knob. You just need to cover the fire. Even though we're going to see that every Yiddish kitchen, this is exactly what they do. They cover the fires and they cover the knobs, because you never know exactly what you're going to be using something for on Shabbos. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow, Be'ez Hashem.